Welcome back to The Vocalyst. Today I am hearing the GRAYSTONES for the first time, so we're starting with their cover of the song Smooth Operator. Here we go.
To ask, he's a smooth operator, smooth operator, smooth operator, smooth operator, coast to coast, LA to Chicago.
Oh golly, I love watching young musicians who are just so skilled. Let's go back. Okay, so something that I'm loving about, there is a simplicity in this arrangement, which I think is so beautiful because it, like, for two reasons. One, it's clean. Like, the whole presentation just feels so polished. It's still giving, the other reason I like it, it's still giving all of these musicians a chance to showcase what they can do, but not in a way where they might feel like it's a struggle or that they have to keep up. It's just feels so controlled and so polished, and I'm here for it. We're going back to the beginning. I know we could just give like props to every person on stage, but this sax player is blowing my mind a little bit. I don't know their ages. I'll look that up later. But wind instruments are a funny thing, and what I'm hearing, like, there is so much control in his playing, like, not only with his breath but his articulations. Like, it's remarkably smooth for what I'm used to hearing from a lot of young musicians. So it's very exciting. That's all I got. So you can, she is singing in what I would consider a beautiful mix. And I'm saying it's a mix because, as granted, it's a small range that we've heard thus far, you can hear that slight lightness in her tone. And it's not airy. It maybe has like a little added bit of texture or fuzziness. This is typical for a lot of young singers, especially when they're in their mix, because you're not overly engaging the TA muscle and getting a lot of press in and a lot of presence in the sound, but she is engaging her TA muscle. She's also incorporating a lot of CT movement for when she has to shift in pitch. And so I think this approach is just so awesome because watching her, it looks so effortless. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of tension building up. And I've talked about this ad nauseum, but when you're young and you're developing your skills, there are a lot of habits that can be formed that are just not helpful for a singer, especially as they get older. So when you take an approach that, I don't know, honors the youthfulness in sound and that quality you have in your voice, I think that's just the best way to do it, so that as you grow and develop and, you know, continue to find your path in music, like you have a really strong foundation, as opposed to trying to create a more adult or a more mature sound and then having to strip away some of those habits later on. And, you know, the harmonies are just, they're gorgeous. This other singer has there are similarities in tone so that they're blending beautifully, but also like training young singers to have like excellent intonation and figuring out harmonies and blending. I mean, there's just so much good that's happening. And it sounds professional, but like I said before, it's dialed in a notch so that I feel like not one person on stage seems, I don't know, like, yeah, like I said, like they're trying to keep up, or they're not quite at that skill level. Like that's what I love so much about this. It feels polished because everyone is like performing at their skill level, and it's high, but still it's, you know, too often, and not just vocally, but when we talk about, you know, young musicians, I know everyone wants to be a prodigy, but the fact of the matter is it takes time to learn skills on any instrument, and performances become messy, for lack of a better word, when we're trying to perform too far out of our like level, out of too far beyond what we're capable of right now. You need that slight push to continue to improve and grow, but you know, if you ever go to like a recital, you'll see, or like a piano recital is what's coming to mind. You'll see a vast array of talent and skill levels, but the performances that really hit are the ones where the pianist has, you know, a song or a piece that is just a hair above their skill level. They've had time to work on it and kind of raise the bar for themselves, instead of doing something that just feels incredibly lofty, and then, you know, nerves take over, or maybe the fingerings got tripped up and things can just fall apart really quickly. That was a long tangent. We're gonna keep going.
We move in space with minimum waste and maximum joy. City lights and business.
I love the way she's sustaining these notes. Joy, lights. We've got diphthongs in there, but she's really sustaining one pure vowel for as long as possible, and then capping at the end of the note, you know, with the rest of the diphthong sound. So it's just such a good habit to have so early.
Nice when you require streetcar design for higher height. No place for beginners or sensitive hearts. When sentiment is left to chance. No place to be ending, but somewhere to start. No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
sad I can't see the other players on the right as often. This drummer, this bass player, the few times I saw the keyboardist, like they all just seem cool as a cucumber, but also enjoying themselves, which is fun to see. This last note, we got a little higher in range, and you can hear more of that mix coming in.
Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, Western Maine, across the north and south to Key Largo, love for face to face, he's classic case.
This is just making me so happy. Watching these musicians also sort of come into their own, figure out their own styles, performance styles and whatnot. It's just, you can kind of see, the little sparks of that forming, like as we're watching right now. At the beginning of this piece, the lead singer, she was like moving a little bit, but then as the song developed, she seemed to get into it more. There was more movement on stage, even just engaging with the audience the way she did. I think it's just really beautiful to see.
Shadow box and double cross, yeah, need the check.
See, even when she said double cross, there was a little bit more of a slide in there, so I feel like vocally things are opening up just a bit more as this song progressed.
He's classic case. We shadow box and double cross, yeah, need the chase. A license to love, insurance to hold. Melts all your memories, change into gold. His eyes are like angels, but his heart is cold. No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, Western Maine.
That coast to coast, like we're not going super crazy high in her range, but you can hear that slight lightening as she moves more into her mix. But I think it's so smart, again, the way she's approaching that mid-range, because it blends. I think that's what I'm loving most about this. Like the tone blends. We're not getting this really powerful belt and then like something super light that just doesn't match at all. It blends so beautifully, even though there are shifts in color. It's not so drastic that it sounds like a young singer whose voice is developing. It just sounds like a youthful tone that's very well controlled. And I love it.
Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, Western Maine. Across the north and south to Key Largo, love for sale. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
That was such a treat to watch. I also want to give props to their music director or teacher. There are so many layers to teaching young students, period, but also in music. You're constantly balancing, learning the basics, but also continuing to motivate and inspire by bringing in new pieces that excite a young musician. Knowing how to balance, kind of like I mentioned before, where they are in their development with also creating something that is so polished and something that feels performance ready. There's just a lot of layers, and to have such a big group of so many skilled musicians, I mean, it's just so thrilling to watch, especially, knowing what could happen, knowing where they could go and how they could develop, and I don't know, it's just exciting to see. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for this recommendation and for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.